Welcome back to 31 Days of Your Scrapbooking Q&As with me, your host, Lain Ehmann. Today's sponsor is Capture Your 365, the online spot for ideas, support, and inspiration for your everyday photography. You'll find a gallery, easy-to-understand photography classes, and a free daily photo prompt. CaptureYour365.com. Today's question comes from Diane, who asks, is scrapbooking double-paged layouts a lost art? I always have so many photos and really don't like to scrap just one or two photos on a single page layout. Diane, to answer this question, we need to go back to the magazine days when designers were creating layouts to be photographed in magazines. And having worked on the back end of a magazine, I got to see some of the goings-on behind the scenes. And here's the honest truth. One-page layouts take up less space and you can include more of them. Also, one photo layouts photograph much better than multi-photo pages. As a result, there was this big trend towards 8.5 by 11 page size because also they're smaller and you can include more of them on a spread. Also, single page layouts and also single photo or maybe two photo layouts. And that's kind of where the trend began. And then when we layer on top of that, the new found ability, I'm going to call it an ability or permission to scrapbook moments versus events. A lot of times the moments or stories we want to tell don't have a ton of photos to go along with them. One that comes immediately to mind is about a year ago, during one of our Layout a Day challenges, I scrapbooked our family's car from the 1970s, the green station wagon. I didn't have the wood paneling like the Brady Bunch. We weren't quite that cool, but we had the big green station wagon, and I only had one photo of it, and I actually got that photo online. So I didn't have multiple photos of us in the back seat of the car or camping out with our sleeping bags in the way back or anything like that. I just had this one photo that I grabbed off of a site online, and that's all I had to work with. So if I were scrapbooking an event like a birthday, Halloween, Christmas, something like that, I'd probably have a lot more photos to go along with that. And I would want to include them on a scrapbook page. But because I'm scrapbooking a memory or a specific story, I oftentimes only have one or maybe two or three photos to go with that. So when you combine the design trend towards smaller pages and fewer photos and also single page layouts, then with the idea that we're scrapbooking memories and stories versus events, a lot of times you'll see a lot fewer layouts that are 8.5 by 11 with maybe one photo, two photos, and maybe just a single page rather than the double page spread. That being said, real life scrapbookers, those of us who aren't constantly having our pages published in the galleries or online magazines or in print magazines, we are oftentimes creating just what you're talking about, two pages, 12 by 12 or 8.5 by 11 that are meant to be next to each other in the album. So I don't think that that is dead at all. I think we don't see a lot of it in galleries, online in particular, because it's also hard to photograph that. If you've ever tried to photograph two 12 by 12 pages together, it is really, really difficult. But if you look at the project life trend, those are two 12 by 12 pages typically next to each other. Yes, they're subdivided, but they are two 12 by 12 spreads representing typically a week in someone's life. So to answer your questions, I don't think that double page spreads are a lost art. I think we see few of them by the quote unquote famous designers for the reasons we talked about, and also fewer of them by home scrapbookers because we're scrapbooking different types of stories. But the bottom line is, do what makes you happy. Doesn't matter what anybody else is doing, doesn't matter what they're doing in the magazine. If it makes you happy to do those 12 by 12 double page spreads, you have my official permission to do so.